Hello everybody, this is Eric and another video log from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Sorry it's been so long since my last one. I'm going to be honest with you, it's been a rough winter. I got the COVID, I was positive for COVID, I don't know how I got it. I may have gotten it when I went to visit in Arizona, and so when I got back I was tested positive, had to take a week off of work, which to be quite honest I really didn't mind that. But at any rate, I'm feeling much better now, gotten all the political stuff out of the way, life seems to be returning to normal. And then this is a recording of a lake effect snow that we had back on February 16th. Because we live so close, literally within a mile of Lake Michigan, where we live, we get an awful lot of snow that is because of the moist air over top of the lake. It gets blown over the cold, I guess the cold ground, or a cold air mass over the city, and then it drops a lot of snow along the edge of the lake. So this is what this is. We had gone out to pick up some Mexican food. If you're familiar with Wisconsin, the place was on 13th Street, and I was going north on 13th, and then I made a right onto Oklahoma. And so I am currently on Oklahoma, heading east, heading home. And I have a housemate right now who is from North Dakota, and I thought, well, this will be a good opportunity for me to kind of learn how to navigate my car in snow. I haven't driven in snow since I was probably in my 20s. So I'm 30 years now since I've last driven in snow, and it wasn't like this. I mean, in Virginia, growing up in Virginia, half an inch was really an awful lot of snow, and here in Milwaukee, we don't even consider it anything more than a dusting if it's not at least 2 inches. And so this lake effect snow ended up being 13 inches where we live. And so right now, this is that Tuesday, February 16th. This is at about, I think, 9:30, almost 10 o'clock at night. We had tried to get Uber Eats to deliver some Mexican food, and they couldn't do it. It missed, I don't know. Anyway, we didn't get it. So we ordered out at another different Mexican restaurant, and went to pick it up and using it to learn how to drive. So not doing too badly. My car, I drive a 2015 Kia Soul. And I do have all-weather tires. I don't have snow tires. And I had, when I first moved here a couple of winters ago, I'd gotten stuck. The first 4 inches of snow, I got stuck in my driveway. And that kind of freaked me out. And so for the past couple of winters, whenever it snows and I need to get to work, I usually get a Lyft car or an Uber driver to take me to work. I live about 4 or 5 miles away from work, and including the tip, it takes about $15, $16 to get me to or from work. So it is kind of pricey, but I don't have to worry about driving in the snow. And I probably will still do that. I probably will still use Uber and Lyft to get me to work on the days that it is fresh snow, unless it's less than 2 inches. Having driven on this road on this night, with all of the snow coming down, I would guess on the streets right now it's about 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches of fresh snow had fallen by this time. And I really didn't have any issues driving in the snow. My car didn't spin out or anything like that. I had perfect control. I have those indicator lights on my dashboard that tell me when I lose traction. I didn't ever lose traction on this trip, and so I was pretty pleased with that. Really nice surprise how well my car dealt with the snow. And so we're just driving along again, Oakland, heading east. And we're heading towards Humboldt Park is where we're going to be making a turn. And so far so good. And but other than that, as far as my life goes, I mean, the snow, God, it's been a real big downer for me, but the summers here are just still so worth this snow. Living in Phoenix, the summers in Phoenix were really hard on me. I was stuck inside all the time with the air conditioning, and so some people would say, well, now you're in the exact opposite of that. You're stuck indoors because of the snow. It doesn't snow that much, so once the snow comes down, the main thing that I'm dealing with is the cold. This is the coldest that I've ever been. It's been, negative 10 degrees at times. The past couple of weeks with polar vortex drama and all that, it was down in the single digits into the negative 10s or so. But I just gradually just decided that I really just had to suck it up and, dress properly for the weather and get out in it and do the stuff that I need to do. And I haven't let the snow get to me except for while it's coming down and for about 24 hours after it comes down. It takes about 24 hours for the city of Milwaukee to plow, but Milwaukee's so accustomed to snow. They have a huge snow budget, tons of trucks out there, plows, salt trucks, all of this stuff is happening before the snow even hits the ground. And so usually even within I would say within 4 hours to 8 hours after even the heaviest snow, definitely the highways are clear. Definitely anywhere where a bus has to go is pretty clear. So much of the city streets and the main thoroughfares are scraped pretty level. And after a couple of days, they scrape it down to where you can actually see the pavement. The biggest problem is with our neighborhood road where we turn onto our neighborhood street. That's where it can get really dicey. So right here, we're turned off. I've turned off of Oklahoma. I'm traveling on Howell, and in about another couple of blocks, I'll be making a right turn onto our neighborhood road. And even with this fresh snow, I was able to navigate the road. I don't want to say what the no road is, but I was able to navigate the road fine without any issues. You'll see when I make this turn, the road is covered with snow. All the cars are covered with about an inch or so of new snow. The roads here are really tight because of all the snow piled up. People are having to park into the street more and more. With every progressive snow, there's more snow to pile up, and it has nowhere to go because it's not melting. So now I'm turning off on another side street that's rarely plowed. And again, my car is just moving along great. I'm about to turn on a right into our alleyway. And this is where the most dangerous part of the trip is usually, because the alleyway is not scraped. We hire a guy. Our neighborhood hires a guy out to scrape it, and he does a really good job. But, I mean, it's really treacherous for the first 24 hours. But even here, on this little alleyway with all the piles of snow and the cars out in the middle of the alleyway and all that stuff, I'm still able to navigate fine. The cars have good traction, no problems at all. And I mean, just look at these huge snow piles, and they're not really melting that much, and now they're hard as ice. They're like icebergs. And now I'm going to park. We have a 3-car driveway at our apartment. Our house, we rent a level of a house, and so I'm just parked in here as tightly as I can, up against the snowdrift as much as I can, so that I'm not blocked off. This is several days later. I just wanted to take a shot during the daytime. This is the same snow. I think maybe 5 or 6 days later. And so I just wanted to show what our neighborhood road is. Notice that our main drag in front of our house, it's a neighborhood road, and it scrapes down to the pavement. There is still a problem with snow accumulating on the sides of the street, so the pathway is very narrow. You really can't get 2 cars side by side to go down the street. Somebody has to yield and pull over. And so that's our house right there with the yellow and the teal trim. And so I just wanted to show what our neighborhood was like. Not too bad, easy traction here, no real problems. There is some snow accumulation on the ground. We're about to turn off onto an even smaller, less well scraped road, but even this road is pretty well scraped. Not too much of a problem here. And now we're about to turn a right into, again, that alleyway that can be such a problem. Sometimes just getting out of the alley may keep you out of your commute for a couple of days until it's scraped. So, but then again, so it's been about a week since that snow, since that lake effect snow, 13 inches. It's been scraped several times. But we're doing it's pretty good. I mean, they're probably the guy who does the plowing is not going through the alleyway anymore. He just does it for when it's pretty fresh, maybe for a couple of times. Normally I'd turn here and park there, but I wanted to record the rest of the alleyway until. But we passed our where I park now, and so this end of the alley, for whatever reason, seems to accumulate more snow and ice, and I don't really know why. I mean, it just kind of gets progressively worse here at this end of the alleyway. And if you'll notice, it's really kind of tight down here. I mean, if you ran into another car, somebody would have to reverse or try to, park inside somebody's alley garage, opening up to their garage, which luckily doesn't really happen very often, but it does happen to me, but luckily not for the snow. We're about to make a turn. There's a school here on the right, and this is the part of the alley where the school children are picked up and dropped off at the beginning and end of their school day. This part is pretty well scraped because I believe the school probably pays people to professionally scrape this road, but still you can tell that there's some ice and accumulation on it. But again, all throughout this time, no problems. Okay, so that's me in the lake effect snow. Then again, life is pretty good. Just want to check in with everybody, and thank you for watching.